Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the OC Varsity Gridiron Show, Week 4 edition. And Mr. Fryer, the football season is just speeding by. The rain has stopped. The heat wave has stopped. The games have continued, but you have not quite caught me yet in the prediction department. I have a 12-8 record, which isn't great so far in this young season. You have an 11-9 record, so you're just on my heels. How you feeling this week as we got another batch of competitive games coming our way, Mr. Fryer?
Well, if this is a race, Dan, we're a pair of tortoises because neither one of us is doing very well at this at all. But historically, once I get things figured out, I start doing a little bit better, and hopefully this will be the week for that. Yeah, it's there's some very interesting games that have already transpired, and this week looks really good again, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been a interesting season where there's been some, week to week dramatic shifts on some teams.
Yeah.
And it's got us by surprise, caught some teams by surprise. But I think we got another exciting week to try to talk about here and make predictions on, led by the Thursday night game, one of the best games of the year, I think. How about Santa Margarita going up to Veterans Stadium in Long Beach to take on Los Alamitos, a couple of top 5 teams in Orange County. And what really intrigues me about this matchup, Steve, is that, Los Al's played a stronger schedule. They're going to be more ready for this game. Not only do they have one more game in the bag that they played in the field, but they played 2 nationally ranked teams. There's great quarterbacking in this game with Malachi Nelson, USC commit for Los Al, Jackson Potter, Alabama Birmingham commit for Santa Margarita. There's good wide receivers, Makai Lemon, USC commit, Los Al. You got Emmett Mosley really emerging at Santa Margarita. You wonder whoever has the ball last wins this game. We'll see about the defenses. Who can play better defense might be pretty key, get a couple stops. But what do you like about this game, and who's your pick, Mr. Fryer?
I've gone back and forth on this until the very last minute, as you know. But I'm going with Santa Margarita. I saw Los Al last week against Servite. Makai Lemon finding space between the hash marks to catch the ball. And then once he's got it, Servite didn't have anybody who was going to catch him. Margarita might have the guy who can catch him. And I think the back end of Margarita's defense is going to be good enough to where Makai Lemon might not be able to get those massive gains he had last week. If he does, I am not going to be surprised. He's really good. Very, very good. And Malachi Nelson, I mean, he puts the ball right there. Makai does a cut, looks back, the ball's already halfway to him, and it's a very catchable ball that Malachi Nelson throws. But I think Margarita has the defense on the back end to get it done. I was at this game last year. Los Alamitos had a big lead at halftime. I went on internet radio with Kent Bickel who does all the Los Al games. We were talking about how good Los Al looked and how they're going to win this game. And then boom, Margarita went crazy in the second half. I think Margarita, I think you're right. Close game. But I like the Eagles of Santa Margarita in this game, Dan.
Yeah, this can be it was a tough game for me to pick because I respect and I think Los Al is getting better. I respect the schedule they have played. And Santa Margarita started slow. And, that narrow win over San Juan Hills, which looks a little bit more confusing as the weeks goes on because San Juan has really struggled 0-4. And Los Al's got, I think Damon Henderson's going to be a big challenge for Santa Margarita's defense. But I also have been picking the Eagles in a tight game. But I won't be surprised if Los Al wins. But I do think the Eagles will win this one, based because I think they got the better defense. But they got a lot of firepower to deal with. So let's see how it goes. Let's move to Friday night because we're talking about 4 really good games here on Friday night. How about surging Trabuco Hills, 3-0, off to one of its best starts in recent memory, to taking on Newport Harbor, which is 3-1 and is really impressed against County Top 10 JSerra in a loss by only 7 points. And then they surprised me and proved me wrong by winning at Capo Valley last week. Held off a pretty furious rally by the Cougars. Narrow win, but still an impressive win nonetheless. Who do you got in this one? Trabuco Hills, Newport Harbor.
Newport Harbor, defense again. Will Burns is having a terrific year at quarterback. for Trabuco Hills. Also a great shortstop in baseball too. The guy that can really play. But I really like I like that Newport Harbor defense. That's the reason I picked Newport Harbor to beat Capital last week, and that's my pick again. A guy we're going to be talking about when we do the all county team, Dan, is going to be Carson Diavola of Newport
Yes.
Harbor, the safety, a tackle machine.
Yes.
And he's really a special player for them. So the Diavola led Sailors defense does it again.
I'm also picking Newport Harbor, but I have really been impressed with Trabuco Hills. A lot of good multi-sport athletes down there. Had a good chat with Mark Nolan. Check out my story. Leading off my football notes this week is on Trabuco Hills, talking about Will Burns, who's headed to Texas Tech for baseball and football.
Yes.
And is putting out these vibes to me. He's feeling like this year's version of Austin Overeem. Overin, excuse me, at Foothill, now at USC, kind of that baseball, football standout. And, Will Burns is also very good in track, very good long jump.
Yes, he is. He is. That's true.
But Trabuco's impressing me. I really was surprised by that score they put on Tustin. I know Tustin's 0-4 and struggling, but 56-14 against Tustin, man, that's I did not expect that to happen last week. That's an eye-opening score.
Sure is.
Here's another interesting one, Fryer. JSerra playing host to Rancho Cucamonga. So JSerra coming off a really lopsided loss on the road to Centennial. We know how good Centennial is. You do. You saw the Huskies in person against Mater Dei. Now JSerra's got to try to bounce back against a pretty solid Rancho Cucamonga team that did beat Servite in the season opener. So you got that interesting Trinity League crossover game. They have some college commits, including a quarterback, Tiller, who's committed to Boise State. They got some good players out of Rancho Cucamonga. Who do you got in this one, Mr. Fryer?
I'd like to see JSerra win this game. I just think it's so fun to watch that program rise up and keep getting better. The two teams they've lost, you mentioned Centennial. It was a one-sided loss. And then they lost to Chaminade in a close game. And Chaminade's really good. Chaminade's 4-0.
Yes.
But I go with Rancho Cucamonga in this game. They just got a win over Valencia, or as our buddy Carlos Harris would say, Valencia of Magic Mountain. And that's a tough road trip to go to. Tough place to go play. I like Rancho Cucamonga in a close game here.
Okay. And shout out to Mr. Carlos. Great to hear all that progress he's making on his recovery. And looking forward to seeing Carlos at some softball games in the future. So God bless you, Carlos. But I am picking the Lions. I checked in with Coach Scott McKnight. He says the good news is that JSerra is healthy, and I talked to my podcaster partner Scotty Barajas. He said that JSerra did some really positive things, and the score wasn't as bad as it looked for JSerra. They went for it on a bunch of fourth downs, so they were playing to win. They did a decent job of not giving up big plays. And like I said, I think JSerra is healthy, and they've showed some flashes, and I think they can do this. And one interesting note for JSerra is last year, they also lost to Centennial. The following week, they also came back, rebounded, and actually beat Rancho Cucamonga on the road. I think they can do it this year at home, and we differ on that game. Here's another interesting game, Mr. Fryer. How about El Medina? Step-up game, I thought, at the beginning of the year. It looks like, hey, wow, El Medina's playing La Habra. Interesting matchup, new pairing. And but La Habra has struggled, 1-3, coming off a 34-6 loss against Orange. And you got El Medina, 3-0. How good are the Vanguards? We're going to find out in the next about 5-6 weeks. The gauntlet's beginning for the Vanguards. They're playing a lot of good teams right now. I'm interested to see, who do you got in this one, El Medina or La Habra, the host team?
Picking Elmo to win this game. Maybe it's Matt Mitchell's best team since he's been over at Elmo. La Habra's got a lot of injuries. They've been trying to move guys around. They're starting like 5 sophomores on offense right now. They're going to be good in a couple years. Pretty decent numbers in the lower levels over there, La Habra as well, but they're struggling a little bit. They'll get better once the setup period ends. They got a couple guys who are going to come in at running back for them. That's going to help an awful lot. But right now, El Medina's a better football team. Guess the quarterback is really good. Mason Hitchens
Yeah.
is a really good player. Another guy we're going to be talking about. We have our all-county meeting, both sides of the football there. Guy can hit, man. He's a terrific player. But I like El Medina in this game, sir.
Yeah, that's quite a ground attack because Xavier Guest is looking out very dynamic at quarterback.
Yeah.
He's running it. You mentioned Mason Hitchens. He's running it. Owen Smith's running it.
Yes.
I don't know if you caught this. Did you see how many times Habra tried to run the ball last week against Orange? I think they tried to run it almost 40 times, and they only threw about 6 passes. And they even had Justin Gill. I'm going by the stats on Max Preps. They even had Justin, the quarterback, running it like 14 times.
Yeah.
But that game was a little bit deceiving. It was a 13-6 lead for Orange in the fourth quarter, and then they sprinted away with those 3 touchdowns. But I am picking El Medina, and La Habra is going to go to the bye. I'll predict that they go to the bye 1-4, and then they open up against Troy. Could be interesting Freeway League opener. And I think El Medina needs to show their physical side as they get ready for the surprisingly tough and brutal North Hills League with with El Dorado and
Canyon. Boom. Throw it here, throw it there. 6 touchdown passes. Christian Lunsberg. 2 times this year. 6 touchdown pass for that guy.
Canyon's got a lot of returners, and they are geared up. That North Hills League is looking strong with those 3 teams. All right. Finally, Steve, another really excellent game, another battle of OC top 10 teams. And both teams are 4-0. How about Edison going down to San Clemente? Always liked that these teams played each other. I remember they played a very memorable regional playoff game a few years ago. I believe it was at Huntington Beach High School, and that was I believe it was a state title run for San Clemente, and that was a magical run for the Tritons. As after they won their first ever CIF title, they won a state title, and I love that these teams continue to play. But this is a very good game. You got the Tritons on the rise after their 24-6 win over Corona Del Mar. Here they are playing another Sunset League team. And then you got Edison. Hey, they just beat a couple weeks ago, beat Orange Lutheran with a big fourth quarter, and they're 4-0, and here they are stepping up again. Great to see these teams playing the Beach City schools. What do you got in this one, Fryer?
Really impressed by San Clemente, especially defensively. Well, Blake Allen did a great job carrying the football for him. Defense, man, you got Nolan Reed has 5 sacks, I think it is. Cole Robertson, the linebacker, also a linebacker. Another all-county discussion guy for us. He's averaging 7 solo tackles a game. Edison side of things, offense looks really good. Parker Awad, I think that when I think about quarterbacks, I kind of overlook Parker a little bit. He's really good. Was really good last year. He's a guy who started his high school football life at MD Mater Dei.
Yeah.
And then found like Toby Schmidt, a couple years ago, went over to Tustin. Great time. Great idea to go on to some place and play a lot. Same thing with Parker Awad over there at Edison. And then Carter Hogue has really come on at running back. I don't know if he was on your radar or mine. Certainly not mine, maybe yours. But he's done a really good job of running the football. Of course, he's got a really good offensive line. Traditionally, Edison line play is nails. And I think that's what's going to get a win for Edison in this football game.
All right. Yes, I did see Carter Hogue in the summertime. I thought he looked pretty good, but I didn't see this season coming. But that offensive line is pretty monstrous, Edison. That's definitely the strength of their team, probably physically wise. But I think Carter Hogue, I think you brought up a good point because I don't think Corona Del Mar did not give much of a ground attack at all for San Clemente last week. So I look at Edison bringing a much more physical ground attack and a balanced attack with Parker and Ashton Hurley and company really connecting well at the receiver position. So I think as good as that San Clemente defense is, they're seeing a whole different side of a balanced offense between the run game, a really good pass game, and then of course Edison is really flying around. Both these teams fly around well on defense. Both are fast and quick and physical. I wasn't impressed with San Clemente's speed on defense last week, but I am also going with Edison. So, Mr. Fryer, we only disagree on one game this week. It's a big one. JSerra Rancho Cucamonga.
Yep, that would be it. I like, I'm kind of an Orange County guy. I'd like to see JSerra win that one. I wouldn't feel bad. And maybe when we're at the end of the season, we're taking a look at JSerra and seeing all the wins that they pile up and what they do in league, and maybe a coach of the year discussion for over there at JSerra, perhaps. Who knows? Coach McKnight's done a good job over there. There's more than one really good Coach McKnight in Orange County, everybody.
Yeah. And there's a lot of good coaching going on this year. And
it's incredible how good it is here.
Yeah. It's definitely a very rich, environment for great high school football coaching. Yep. And that's always going to be a tough decision for us, but we'll be happy to recognize somebody. So I think you're going to be at the Edison-San Clemente game, right?
I will be heading down there to the Pom Pom Cafe.
Yes, you'll see the Abyss crowd will be out there. It'll probably be a beautiful night in San Clemente, and I think that's a great game between those public schools. I'm going to be at Veterans on Thursday. Looking forward. I'll see the Locos, and I think a lot of talent on the field. I haven't seen Santa Margarita this year. I've seen Los Al, and I'm really looking forward to the game. I think a lot of Orange County fans from the Trinity League and the Sunset League hooking up are going to be seeing, hey, how are the Griffins progressing? How good is Santa Margarita? Are they the second best team in Orange County? Are they better than Mission? Are they contenders? Could they play with a Centennial or something like that? We'll see how good the Eagles are. So looking forward to it, Mr. Fryer, and enjoy the week, and looking forward to seeing how we do.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for everybody for joining us here on the OC Varsity Gridiron Show. See you at the games.